Hearts, for Paul Ritchie is consigned to the bench. Gary McSwagan, unfortunately, has contracted gastroenteritis, and Gary Naismith will come into play on the left side of defence with Steve Fulton in the middle. And here's a man who has contracted himself to Hearts in a vote of confidence in this club for the next 3 years. Colin Cameron, one of the most outstanding prospects in Scottish football. And a look at that Rangers side will tell you they have problems stocking up for today and next Wednesday. If you look at the side, there's no Newman, Van Bronckhorst and McCann all injured. Adamchuk is on the bench. Into the side come Perini and Vidmar in defence. And up front, Jonathan Johansson. And here's a man who provided the classy touch last week. That's Claudio Reyna, last Saturday's man of the match. And here's a man, John Rowbottom, who will be jetting off to Armenia and UEFA Cup duty in the next 3 weeks. Experienced referee, much closer to home today. Well, I said to Dick Advocat about an hour before kick-off, reminding him that Rangers lost this corresponding game last year, and then he went on to win the treble. He wouldn't mind history repeating itself. He gave me what you might describe as a rather knowing look. I think he'll be going after a confidence-boosting win today against a side which looks really up for it. One good thing about this fixture, in the last 23 meetings at Tynecastle, there never has been a no-scoring draw. Pushed right inside to young player Scott Severin there. Interesting to see how well Darren Jackson is going to be playing in midfield, given the fact. Oh, that's a poor one by the goalkeeper, and here's a chance now, and it goes through to him. And that's what we've noted about this German keeper in the past. The flag is up, which takes the pressure off him, I may say, but he's never looked very confident when the ball is played to foot. And that surged through the middle, with Darren Jackson, as I was mentioning there, going right through from midfield, came as a result of a missed kick. Balls again. Reyna. Looked for a little touch and he got it. That's a nice little ball inside to Alberts. There's a drive across goal. There was a deflection, and some of Rangers' fluency has been very sweet on the eye indeed. That move ending with that little ricochet. Reyna. Beautiful play by Reyna again. There's Moles, Reyna, Wallace. Well, we were talking about this pitch before the start of the game with one or two people, and you'll see it's very lush indeed. And as Wallace discovered as he went after this, not a particularly lush look on the face of Dick Advocat. I'll say Thomas Vogel, who scored last week against this, and Johnson has been very steady in this match so far. Here's Moles. There's a lovely little ball on to Reyna. Can he chip the goalkeeper? He does! Straight through it goes, and this most intelligent player, yet again, set up a chance for himself as he did last week at Ibrox. Almost reminiscent of the goal he scored against Kilmarnock. Neat, intelligent play, well backed up by Michael Moles. I said, would he chip the goalkeeper? In fact, he kept it down, and it went straight through him. Perini. That's a better ball. Johansson not covered at all. Wallace. Disappointing end there by Wallace. There's Perini with a shot. And I think it looks to me as if Kevin James took a knock there. I think Rangers over-elaborate at this stage inside the penalty area. There's too many passes going on here, and Perini is not a noted striker. And he scored 2 goals last season. No wonder he's annoyed. Hearts simply cannot get into the game at this stage. Well, the problem for Hearts at the moment is they can't get this man at the centre of things. He's been on the fringe of the game. And a great deal of responsibility goes to Rangers midfield from keeping the ball away from Hearts, which have done not only very successfully, but creatively. Moore. Almost got it through. Wallace. Purini. Wallace has been operating more or less down this right-hand side for Rangers. Here's Moles. Beautiful turn by Moles. He almost gets it in. Alberts. Wonderful effort by the Dutchman. This is going to become his trademark, I think. The way he can take a ball so quickly, swing away from an opponent, that deceptive swing of the hips as we saw in Finland, and a good save by Ruse. Here's Adam. Alan Jackson did well to cut it inside. No goal. Now Fulton. Jackson will attempt the cross, and the first real effort that Hearts have had in this game so far coming from Cameron. Floated in there. I think Kloss had his eye on it all the way. Free kick. Big awkward character is Jonathan Johansson. There's the header done, and it just tucks away. That is a brilliant save. An instinctive, reflexive save in the line. And the first real opportunity for Hearts to get back on level terms. Here, watch the reflexes of the goalkeeper. Brilliantly done. Backed up here by Ferguson. Nice little 1-2 football. Here's a chance for Hearts. There's the ball into Darren Jackson, and the goalkeeper saw the danger immediately. Seeing a little more about this Hearts team now. There's more spirit and endeavour. Moore. Down to the German Alberts. On to Wallace. This is where Rangers are usually very dangerous on the break. Reyna's going on the far side here. There's a little chip across and a corner kick. And that was a very good 2 minutes of football from either side, and Hearts, as I said, beginning to find the right pace for this game. But you know, it was the goalkeeper, as I said about Stefan Kloss, sometimes he's a little bit weak when the ball is played to foot, but he does read the game very well, and out he came bravely and timelessly for that. Now, Barry Ferguson, that's a beautiful ball to Moles. Moles going in the box. And he tries to ball, what a finish! Superb goal, he deserves it for the way he's played in this game. Rattling it in from an almost impossible angle. No wonder they're delighted with that. He was at the heart of the first Rangers goal, and now he decides, I'm going to have one myself. Tremendous finish to that. A player of panache and subtlety. Rangers 2-0 up. Into stoppage time. Not a little quiver of a hint of a smile of a man who must nevertheless be delighted with that finish. Well, you know, in the first 25 minutes, it was almost embarrassing, the difference in class between the sides, and this man personified it better than most. He did exactly what he did at Ibrox last week, setting a chance up for himself, ably abetted, of course, by Moles. And there, the ball in the back of the net, and then that glorious finish, a real typical and appropriate climax to the end of this first half, with the Dutchman again looking to be in an impossible angle. But no, it wasn't. Rangers go off confidently, leading by 2-0. Start of the second half, and Rangers have made a change. Craig Moore is off, and the Polish international Dariusz Adamczuk has come on, with Perini moving into the centre. Now, we're not quite sure at this stage why that has happened. It may be an injury. I suspect that he was talking to Bert van Lingen as he went off in a rather anxious way, so it may be that, because his first 45 minutes wasn't at all bad. So in any case, Rangers leading by 2-0, and Fulton with a free kick. To be a bit of pushing there, and Adamczuk right in the middle. Hodge tried to put on the pressure immediately here. There's a little dab forward by James. So what have they said at halftime? One wonders. Can't have been very pleasant team talk. There's Barry Ferguson. There's a long one to Johansson. Now, he's got the legs for it. Will it stay in? It does. Mols is waiting for that. There's a little chip by Reina, and he delayed a little bit too long. Just a little bit too clever by Happen. I think he realizes that. Not the most subtle of players, Jonathan Johansson. He likes straight running at defences, but this time the ball across, and here's the hesitation. He wanted it too much under control and suffered. Mols on the outside. Oh, that's great play by Mols. Tremendous control. Wants it back. Here he is again. Just knocked away from him. Now Vidmar going on the outside, and there's nobody coming down the right hand for Rangers. Reina arriving just a little bit too late. Brilliant play by the Dutch striker again. Alberts. Wallace. Alberts tried to go to the outside, and superb football by Rangers in midfield over the last couple of minutes. Mols has been quite outstanding. Hasn't been in the game all that much, but when he has, he's been explosive and skillful. And that's the kind of bad passing that is costing Hearts dear in this game. Simple balls given away. Mols well tackled that time. Just keeps the ball in play. Michael Mols going in. Here's Mols. Turns away. Tries to get it through, and that's a jammer, but a glorious strike. All the spade work done again by Mols, and just a fraction of a little break there to Alberts to slot it home. And I think this puts the game beyond any possible dispute. Now, here's his opportunity that crept up after Mols had disorientated that defence again. And he kept it down low. That was the main advantage here for Alberts. Didn't have much time to think as it was struck back towards him, clean as a whistle. Rangers 3 up. Just getting in behind Amoroso. Very rarely has he made that misjudgment in this match. Good ball inside, but nobody buying the little dummy that Cameron read, and he's exasperated with his mates for that. On it goes to Wallace. Wallace has been roaming from left to right. There's the header. Oh, what a goal! Reina popping up out of the blue. He couldn't stop, goes into the very warm embrace of the supporters. His second goal in the game. His third since the season has started. His alertness, his insight, and his timing all combining there to put Rangers in that luxurious position of an away game. 4 goals in front. Here's Amato. of Ferguson. Into Ferguson. Once again, the role of Moles there as the supplier of the ammunition. Stroking it back there and in streaked Barry Ferguson. He wasn't all that far away. Great effort. Moles puts it back. Slipping inside to Adamczuk. Oh, that wasn't far away. Seemed to take a little bit of paint off that post. Now, Adamczuk, of course, a noted goal scorer when he comes from defensive positions. In fact, it was slightly further away from the post, but a very worthwhile effort. And there goes the final whistle in what has turned out to be the perfect preparation for a momentous game coming on Wednesday. This man takes satisfaction from that. The performance of his players. Michael Moles there at the centre of a lot of action, setting up Rangers' first goal with beautiful intelligence alongside Claudio Reyna, who finished it off underneath the goalkeeper. And then that amazing second goal by Rangers, Moles from an almost impossible angle, but putting a bit of curl in the ball outside of the foot, and in it went. And then he again disturbing the defence in the second half, allowing a lapse, a little gap, and the German pounced to drill it home. And then at the very end, the intelligence of a player who sizes up an opportunity and coming in there with his head to put it away for a second of the game. A huge difference in class between the two sides exists yet in Scottish football as Rangers go confidently towards Wednesday, winning by 4 goals to 0.
Yeah, if you win away by Hearts 4-0, that's a good result. And despite some moments the first half, we didn't give a chance away. So they had 2 chances, but it was more a fault of our own defence. But overall, I think we played very sharp, concentrated, and a well-deserved win.
That you really have to play well. We were going into the game, as I say, pretty confident, but Rangers played outstanding today, and really we just couldn't handle it. And as I say, if you don't play well enough yourself, then you get a hard time of it, because there are a lot of good players. So we're well beaten today. We've got to learn lessons from it.
You know, our forwards were constantly dangerous. Michael Moles as well was so mobile. Rodney Wallace as well, and they created so many of the chances. You know, they scored goals, but they were also always there to create the chances for us. And their mobility is such an advantage for us up front, and they're going to give defenses a tough time all year because they're constantly moving and they're constantly dangerous.
And 2 good goals from yourself. That's not a bad day's work.
Yeah, well, also you have to give them credit again. Both of my goals were great balls, one from Michael and the other one from Rodney, so I was just there to finish it off. And I'm glad to get on the scoring sheet again, but the most important is that we won and that we improved on last week.
Yeah, he was a happy boy yesterday. Derek Johnson and Alan McInally with me here in the Scott Sports studio tonight. Derek was there. Hugely impressive, Derek.
It was. I think Dick Advocaat needed the performance before Wednesday night's big game, and he got it. I mean, it's not often that Hearts get a real doing at home, but they did yesterday. I think Rangers had a dodgy maybe 10, 11 minutes at the start of the game, a few bad pass backs, but after that, as soon as we got the first goal, there was only one team going to win it. Rangers looked very, very sharp indeed. And Alan, what Derek was telling us before the programme tonight was that Hearts did not play at all badly.
Yeah, that was my first question to Derek, because I never saw the full game, and he did say they didn't play that bad. And the turning point almost in the game was when Colossus the Great saved it 1-0. But it looks there, I mean, the chances they had. Great honesty from Jim Jeffries. He'd simply said that Rangers were far too good for them.
Derek, last week on this show we were singing the praises of Claudio Reyna. He had another great game yesterday, but what about Michael Moles? Well, he's going to be the star of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. He's got absolutely everything. He's very quick. What a brain he's got to get by defenders. It's lovely to see a striker taking on defenders all the time. He loves doing it. Doesn't matter where he is on the park. He wants the ball at his feet. He can bring players into games as he does with Reyna, but that's a marvellous run by Reyna in the first place. He's got great touches. I mean, this is just sensational. If that goes in, it's a goal of the season for me. And that's what he's going to do to defenders. You cannot dive in. If you dive into this man, he's going to tear you to shreds. And he's just wonderful to watch.
Yeah, well, remember, we spoke about him last year when he was coming initially, and I told you what Jan Wouter said about him. Good strength here. And even Presley here thinks there's no way he's going to put that in, so I won't put my foot out. Bang, see you later. Great finish. Great skill here. Goads him in, keeps possession. Look, lifts his head. Where's my pass? There it is there. Superb. Great, you know, like combination play. Like Derek says, willing to take players on, but when you've got movement like this as well, and he wants to go play players. That is the difference. It really is.
And Derek, I think there's just a yard of pace there as well, isn't there?
Oh, there's plenty of pace. And the great thing about him is that 10-yard burst. He's got that to get by defenders. Once he gets by him, he'll run away from him. He's got a terrific shot. He was involved in all 4 goals. He's set up another 2 or 3 chances. He'll be a sensation this season.
The thing is as well, when you've got a player like that and the players get to play with him, they'll know they can play the ball into him. They know he'll hold the ball up, or they can play him out wide. He'll keep possession. He won't give the ball away. It just adds confidence.
He
to the
demands
team.
it, Alan.
Exactly.
He demands it. He doesn't care if there's 2 men around him. Just give me it and I'll deal with it. That's a great
which
thing to have.
encourages his own players to play it to him.
And Derek, there'll be defenders watching this programme tonight saying, oh, I'm going to come up against him 4 times this season.
But how do you play him? I mean, I don't know if you stand off him, because if you go too close to him, he's going to turn you very easily. I think he's going to get a few sore ankles this season, that's for sure.
What about the Rangers defence? Because that's going to be so important on Wednesday night. Amoruso, I think you thought he had a shaky first 5-10 minutes, but he came onto a game.
He did. I think the first 10-11 minutes defensively, Rangers didn't play all that well. A couple of bad pass backs to the goalkeeper, and give them a chance. But in saying that, Amoruso, I thought, had a fabulous game after that. Defensively, they played real well. I think in the midfield, Rangers are stronger than last year. Up front, they're certainly stronger. Defensively, they've not got it right yet. And I think Dick might be worried that Parma do create a couple of chances in midweek. They're going to have to watch themselves. But I think the last hour of the game, I think Amoruso played the captain's part, and I thought he played really well with Perini beside him.
This is almost as though he takes a little bit of time to stoke up the fire sometimes. He likes to get the ball again. He likes to have the ball at his feet. There's a lot of our centre-halves don't like to have the ball, and they get it, and it's a shell for 60 yards. He wants to come out and play passes. Just sometimes it can be a little bit slack sometimes.
Well, a couple of times yesterday, the pitch was slipping. He tried to clear it and misshit it 10 yards, and Hearts almost scored twice.
But
You can't afford to make mistakes like that. Sometimes the light's on, but nobody's in.
Aye, well, sometimes. I'm glad you said that.
What about Hearts, Derek? Because, as you said, they didn't play particularly badly, but Jim Jeffries looked shell-shocked there, didn't he?
Well, of course. I mean, they've come back after a tremendous result last week at Perth, 4-1, looking up for the game, but we're never in it. Simply because Rangers midfield dominated the game. They never get any passes forward. Colin Cameron's great strength, as you heard Archie saying, is getting forward into that box. Never get a chance because Reina, Ferguson, Alberts were all running by him, and he couldn't get forward.
And on top of that, of course, with Adam and Jackson up front, not getting the ball to them, they're almost,